Good morning, my dear friends. We are at the Imperial Academy of Arts. It's early morning now, and our day begins with a lecture on painting technology, so come with me. It will be in a special laboratory, a very beautiful room, where all the walls are decorated with copies of famous paintings made by our students. There are many bottles with all sorts of varnishes, mediums, and other liquids for paintings, samples of glues, canvases. I really like these colorings or swatches of various pigments and paints. Here you can see their transparency, brightness, how they change over the time and in mixtures with each other. And in general, such a cool informative selections, I think the guys from the restoration facility can look at them for a long time. Today, by the way, we're studying pigments in oil paints. This is a rather large and interesting topic. Not many people and even artists themselves know the composition of paints, where all these colors come from, and meanwhile, even in our age of technology, many pigments remain natural and are extracted from various natural elements like metals, earth, plants, insects. For example, carmine is extracted from such small creatures, and this pigment is also used for food and cosmetics and many other things. Purple used to be extracted from mollusks. You probably remember this from history classes at school. People used it to make colorful fabrics for rich ones. And probably one of the most unexpected is Indian yellow, which for a long time was extracted from the urine of elephants and cows. This pigment was also used to paint buildings in Europe and Russia, since it's very cheap. And not so long ago you could buy mummy brown paint, which was made not really legally from Egyptian mummies of people, which were ground into powder. This was a very popular pigment among artists before, but over the time the mummies began to run out, and in general logical question arose about the ethics of using such materials, so now you won't find this in stores. But what you can still find on sale is lead white, and this is, by the way, a rather dangerous, highly toxic paint. You can read about the harm of lead to humans, but earlier in the days of less developed science, people had no idea and applied white lead powder to their faces for cosmetic purposes. So it's such an interesting topic, especially from the point of view of chemistry and the interaction of all the substances with each other in the long term. And now I'm going to my friend Sculptors because I got an idea for a new painting and I need to take some reference photos there. They have a lot of carrots here because the season of working with horses has begun. They sculpt small sculptures of horses to study their anatomy and plasticity, because as we know, sculptors need to be able to sculpt not only a person, like any artist. This is a higher education, so we need a comprehensive development. In fact, it's quite difficult to work with horses as with any animals because a lot depends on the character. In the neighboring workshop, a dark horse is posing and he stands absolutely motionless. And in the workshop of my friends, a small horse named Tuna is posing. She's the color of ice cream with the chocolate chips and she's a little freaky. She does not stand still at all, breaks sculptures, bites everyone and everything, walks everywhere, wags her tongue, so it's not easy for the guys to work. And a couple of years ago, Chunya beat my sister, my younger sister, on the leg, and she still has a bump under the skin, so horses are not harmless creatures at all. But I don't know, she's still so adorable, like look at how she's trying to come and play. She's just a big, cute white dog trapped in a horse body. And it's Chunya that I need for painting because she's as white as a workshop, just like I wanted. So I managed to make quite a lot of pictures of workshop and horses from different angles, and today I'll make sketches and show you. By the way, I forgot to tell you that I recently made a full video process of portrait painting for you. It will be useful if you want to level up your skills in quick portraits. I painted this for an hour and a half. And in general, there's a lot of basic process of portrait painting. It's super cheap. It costs like a cup of coffee. I want such materials to be affordable for everyone, so you can pick it up right now on my Boosty. This is an algo of Patreon. We just don't have Patreon in Russia anymore. So the link is in the description, and wishing you good productive studying. And now we're going to the basement of the academy because Dean's office said that today they will finally give us paints. There is already a long line of other students. Every year the academy gives us materials. These are several brushes and a box with oil paints and thinners and varnishes. I'm always very happy that the academy takes such a good care of us because other universities have not given their students materials for a long time. It was a tradition of most art universities in Russia in the past generation, but then it probably became too expensive and they stopped. I mean, you all seen the prices for art supplies, so it's pretty understandable. I brought the paints home and I wanted to show you what is included in the set this time. They are not always the same. This year we got a bottle of thinner and a dammer varnish and 19 tubes of paint. Here they are. It's very nice, like a birthday present. My room is now very sunny and beautiful. I'm glad that the apartment has finally begun to look like me. The walls are covered with my paintings and all sort of things. It just feels great when your place reflects you. And I'm starting to work on sketches for this new painting. I came up with the idea of making painting with white horse against the window in a white sculpture studio, and I want everything to sort of dissolve in the fog and create a gentle harmony. I found the composition and the colors I needed and made a rough sketch on the canvas to show the idea to the professors and continue working. At the academy you have to show the professors how the work on the composition is going once every couple of weeks, so you won't have any problems at the end of the semester, so I carry the canvas from home there. There is amazing scene in our studio now. The professors found very beautiful models, picked out costumes for them and set up the entourage, found a screen with hieroglyphs. I love how everyone works in their own way, like the paintings are always so different from each other. Everyone sees the models and the composition through the prism of their visual experience. I love walking and looking at the guys' paintings. After the painting class, I was going to the cafeteria of the academy, but on the way I met a friend and he invited me to show what they were working on in their studio. This is my friend Dushan from the church workshop. He came to Russia from Macedonia to study here and now he's doing his project of frescoes of the temple. The church workshop is one of the oldest workshops of the academy. In the future I will show you what the diploma work look like. It's always something incredible. This is an album with colors of frescoes. They mix them in the summer during practice training in the churches and they use them in their work. They work harder than anyone else and leave the academy after closing, literally at night, and continue to work in the dormitory. The main focus of the workshop is church paintings, so the guys need to know the canons of image of saints, ornaments, the Old Slavonic language, architecture, and much more. They must be able to make a model of the frescoes and bring it to life. So they must also know anatomy and work with monumental formats. In short, they're just like superhumans. And I carry my canvas home to continue working on this painting with a horse. I gradually begin to gain texture and the image becomes more velvety. I want to achieve minimum contrast, at which the contours of objects seem to be distinguishable, but at the same time it's just white noise, such a moody light haze. And you know, it's very pleasant to work in one color scheme when all the colors are not too different from each other. I still have little time until evening and I devoted this time to work. I teach painting and drawing to foreigners by video calls. Really like this job. I always wanted to do what I love and work for myself, and teaching has become for me that pleasant activity that brings a lot of positive emotions and inspiration. You guys are all so unique and I'm glad that I can be a part of your creative journey. Here are some of our works from classes with my corrections. I work with very different levels of training, even from scratch. For everyone, the program is individual and depends on your requests, your needs. So if you're thinking about bumping up your skills, I'll be glad to see you among my students. Here are my works, if you haven't seen them yet. I conduct individual lessons in the form of homework and feedback with the theory, so text me by email or direct messages on Instagram if you want to work under my mentorship, or if you have any other questions, I'm always ready to answer. And here I'm making myself a cute circus collar for our spring ball of artists, which will finally take place tonight. Who watched the previous videos knows the whole backstory. I showed the rehearsal process and talked about the ball itself. The theme of this year's ball is circus, and the guys made really cool costumes. I'm so impressed with each one. By the way, I ended up taking that golden dress that I showed you. Here I am with my dance partner. This is my friend. He invited me and I happily agreed because I have long dreamed of coming here. The ball is held every year. This is an ancient tradition of the academy. Here we are standing behind the decorations and waiting for it all to start. I'm just admiring everyone's costumes. They're so creative.